Hi everyone, welcome back to my second video in September, and I've gone back to wax seals. I haven't used wax seals or done any videos on wax seals for a long time, so I thought I would show you how I've made these wax seal embellishments. Ignore this one, it went a little bit wrong when I was cutting the material, but that's fine. So all it is a bit of tulle, T-U-L-L-E, not tool as in T-O-O-L, a bit of tulle, oops, and this one, I actually had some Halloween material, so it's a bit thicker than tulle, but it worked really well apart from my cutting. So I'm going to show you how I've done these. They're really quick, really easy, and they should look really good on layouts, and in fact keep an eye on my layouts because I'm going to do some bee ones to go with my Buzz Botanical and my new ink pads that I've got, but more of that in another video. So this is what I'm going to do today. So I'm just going to push those back there a minute. So you need a piece of material or tulle that is approximately 12 inches long by approximately 1.5 inches wide. You can do it wider. I wouldn't suggest doing it any smaller because it will turn out looking like that, and that's why that's the thing, because my cutting sort of went in a bit of a diagonal. You need a needle with a bit of thread on it. Now what I wouldn't suggest using is one of your really good threads, because you're going to cut most of it away and throw it in the bin. And then obviously a wax seal. So all you do is you take your needle and thread and go through the bottom of the material, and we're just literally going to do a gather stitch all the way through. So nice and quick, nice and easy. So just gather it all up. Ooh, make sure you leave an end. And we're going to carry on doing that all the way to the end of the material. It shouldn't take long. It doesn't have to be straight. The stitches don't have to be small. They can join. They don't have to look very pretty at all, and it doesn't even matter if the thread doesn't match your material on this occasion, which normally is a bit unusual. So we're just going to go to the end, then you're going to pull the needle off your thread. I'm just going to put mine on my needle holder. Then all we're going to do is tie the two loose ends together into a loose knot, and we're going to pull, and you sort of get this lovely sort of puffy circle in like material, and we're just going to do a couple of knots in that. So just a couple of knots. Oh, pulling the wrong one. And then we're going to cut this thread away, which is, you can see, it's why I've told you not to use your good thread. Just use a cheap and cheerful thread. And then what we're going to do is decide what side you want to use. So I think I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use that side. So now what I have discovered when making these is that the wet glue doesn't work. Okay, it just doesn't stick. So I'm using some of the 3M adhesive discs. So I'm just going to peel one of those off and pop it onto the back of my wax seal. Give it a bit of a rub. There you go, that's got it. And then all you can do is stick it into the middle of your circle, and there you have it, a lovely wax seal embellishment to go on whatever you want to put it on, your layouts, your junk journal, whatever, Halloween layouts, whatever you feel like popping it onto. So there you go. There's an easy way of using your wax seals on your layouts and other crafting projects. Until next time, bye.